Hello my hosts and welcome to another stream. Today I'm working a bit in Blender to create a scene for an animation I'm doing. So let's get right into that. Let's see if we can do this. Think if we hit this button. Nope. That's the blackish void. How about this one? More void. That doesn't even have me. Here we go. Let's just get my wings out of the way. Alrighty. So, let's see. If we can get this working correctly. I originally wanted to do spokes on here, but I'm having a little problem getting these things lined up right. Because what I should have is sort of like a... I'm wondering if it's... a... Okay. What I'm trying to do is calculate an angle between this vector and the vector of the coordinates. So I would get a ring of colours that I can use to generate the spokes. But at the moment, that's not working quite right. So I'm wondering if it's some effect. Okay, so if I go like this, search for a value, and we go combine X, Y, Z, like that. Means I can consistently scale things. 1, 2. Oh, that's cool. This affects scale irrelevant. So it's not the fact that I'm at a weird position. Be nice if I could see what the values were at any one point. And because sort of what this does, but and go like that. So generated point vector normal. Go back to texture again. Let's try normal here. Nope. UV. It creates a really funky effect. Not sure why that happens. Object's a bit weird. Camera's a pain because it actually goes based on the camera angle, which is not what we want. Same with window. Window's another one of those oddities. And reflection's not what we want either. So we probably do want generated. But we're not getting that sort of rotational effect. I definitely thought this was how you would... Hi, Stephanie. I thought using the dot product was how you would get that type of angle, but it doesn't seem to do what I want. Let's check Google. Render angle between two vectors. Because you're between two vectors. That says to use... Well, what I'm currently doing, I'll show you. Here is my model of an emergency room. Oh, chat's not up on screen yet. There it is. This is my model of an emergency room. And this old lady is going to be in a wheelchair, and I'm currently modeling the wheelchair. So what I want to do is have... What I want to do is have this wheelchair have spokes, and I was thinking of doing it using a texture map. However, to do that correctly, I would have to work out the angle between the middle of the wheel and the points. And that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. Yeah, I've got it set to ultra low latency, so hopefully that helps. Now we were going back and looking at the documentation, trying to find not vertices, vectors. Find angle between two vectors. Is this the one? I do want to put random angles. What I want to do is actually work out an angle first. I don't even know what the angles are. So that would be the first step. Okay. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. Okay, click on the wheel. If I go to move this wheel, its origin is in the wrong spot. So let's fix that. Object. I haven't even decided how many spokes are going to be. So origin to center of mass. Now I bet if I go into shading. Nope, that didn't make a difference. there was 2 combined XYZs. That's funny. Yep, I agree. But what I want to do first is work out where on this disk I am. Until I do that, I can't do anything further. Did that help? Okay. Let's set that scale back to 1. And we're just going to move around. Along here, it's a bit weird. I'm getting cool effects. But, whoa, sort of trippy things. There. But if I go like this, get this sort of effect. I think that's where from the way that the space is divided up. Because what I want is something that sort of radiates out. So you have red here going through blue, purple, and that, which is what I thought I would get if I had the dot product. Let's see. I don't think the dot product is... No, the dot product isn't based on that. What other options do I have? Project onto there. Reflect, that's... Entry-wise, absolute. Actually, I'm wondering... if we calculate the distance between these 2 vectors, no, that doesn't help much either. And hold on, let's scale this up again. Scale it down. Getting weird effects, but none that really work the way I want. That is really frustrating. It's like I'm missing some core part of... Hold on. Okay. Put that back to dot product. Put that in there. Did that get fixed when I fixed like that? Let's have a look at this. A lot of my, this is sort of like trial and error while I learn how things work. And up. Got one. No. E. Also we can do is have a look at the preview on a flat plane. That I wonder if that's helping. Okay, and then move along there, maybe? Nope. Let's put that to 0. That didn't help much. It'd be helpful if I understood the coordinate system that was being in use here. Because what I would have thought is you'd have the origin and you would have the coordinate as the origin in the middle. Let's say object. I mean, we're getting cool effects at least. Okay. Let's have a look at the documentation a bit more, see if there's anything in it that would help. So, Blender, texture, coordinate, generate, tour, texture coordinate. Excuse me. Object from instance. Automatically generated texture coordinates for the vertex position of the mesh without deformation, keeping them in a strict, them sticking on the surface under animation. Range from 0 to 1 over the bounding box of the undeformed mesh. See, yeah, I would have thought so. So texture spaces for more information. But generate is a visualization viewpoint display. Texture mesh. But there's a yeah. UV mapping for here. Oh, that's going to be a lot more thing. Object uses objects as a source. The coordinate often uses its empty, easy way to small image at a given point on the object. Okay, let's try something. What we'll do first thing first is I'm going to have a look at what this coordinate space looks like. We are making a emergency room with a old lady in a wheelchair. What I'm going to do is search, check a texture, generate a vector, we're going to go color black and white and feed that into the color. This will at least give us a grid. Ah! So this tells us that the texture on the inside of here is super weird. You can see that, how the because on a normal flat plane, this would just be a checker pattern of black and white. But we've got this strange ziggly-zaggly thing here. So that's why we're getting these weird effects, I think. If we go to Object... Okay, Object is probably the coordinate space we want. So we know it's probably going to be Object, but that still gives us the... doesn't give us the sort of spiral effect we want. Go there. Go one like that. Oh, we're feeding it through mapping as well. Let's disable that. Set that to 0 now. I think we're getting closer to what we want. So if we go like that, that's fine. We'll go so this definitely should have an outward spiral effect, you'd think. But oh, that looks like something. But why is it all red in here? And I'm just going to compare and contrast it with that in the preview. Go to texture map. That doesn't make any difference. Change the scale doesn't help either. I think we're getting closer though. Oh, I think we've got it. I think we have got what we want. Because now we've got the colors radiating out. So if we use this and feed it into the alpha channel. That kind of looks like spokes. But we've got this one looping back weirdly. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, that I just that I think that doesn't look too bad. I think it's a bit too funky for the lady. Don't think grey's really her colour either. I think go like that a bit. I actually pull down the saturation, go to white, and smooth it out so it's going to look more metallic. Increase its metallicity. Okay, there we go. That's a working wheel. So what we can do now is say duplicate and move it across. Now I have to ease this up here. That is fine. So that's the second wheel for our wheelchair. The next bit, this is the leg off of the seat, but it has a nice metallic texture on it. So I'll show you. I'll just switch to the rendered mode. It's got a nice metallic texture, so I'm going to use that as our axle and our supports for the wheelchair. So we'll rotate this around 90 degrees and we'll move it into place as our axle. Here we go. And up. And I've overshot. And actually, and a bit like that. Can line it up with the cursor. There. And we can rescale it out. So it will meet the two ends of the wheels. And apply all transforms. So our wheelchair now has an axle. We can duplicate that again. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Undo whatever that was. duplicate the axle again. We'll move that out. We'll set origin to center of mass. And U is going to be this one. Let's make that. Rotate this upwards. And move it back. It's going to be the support for the backrest. And since this is a hospital wheelchair and not a civilian, sort of a house wheelchair, it's going to have handles on it like that. Move that back a bit. Yep. Actually, I'm going to switch off rendering just to material preview because it's a little bit less taxing on my CPU like that. Excellent. We'll go into edit mode. We'll make a loop cut up the top here. Let's see if we can bend this. Okay, see you soon. So we'll go select box and into the wireframe mode. So we can select all of that. Set all of that. Perfect. Now, I think it's spin. Actually, before we spin this thing, we're going to have to select a point of rotation to go around. So, point. We want one on the right at the back of here where this joins up. And I think it will be here. Set the cursor to selected. And we select all of this again. I think if we now go spin, we want like that. We can now bend that handle back. Say 90 degrees. Excellent. That makes a fairly good-looking handle and whatever. So go back into object mode. We'll go apply all transforms. Has that? And we'll also do the object. Center origin. Center of mass. Surface. Excellent. We'll duplicate you. Move you across to the other side of the wheelchair. It's looking good. We'll now add a couple of cross pieces from the actual the chair onto the wheelchair. Now let's like look at one of my reference pictures. Chair images. No, it's not the type I want. There we go. Let's see if I can get this image on the screen. Open image in. Yep. This is the look I'm going for. Something like this. With the that should be not too hard to do. So we're going to have probably a couple of cross bracings from this point down to here. And then a kickstand of some sort. We're going to need little mini wheels as well for balance. Excellent. Yep, we are blending in the blender. There we go. Oops. We'll have duplicate this again. This little pipe segment has been quite useful. Set origin to center of mass. We'll rotate you around like that. And move you along here. So drop it down so it meets that axle. Rotate it up so that it'll kind of join on to that support, or at least look like it is. Move it back. And then come down there. That looks fine. Just nudge this over here. There. That's going well. Oopsie daisy. Through here. Go into edit mode. We'll select that one at the back here. Let's get rid of this wall first. Hold on. Back into our normal mode. Select this wall. Can I actually name that? Back wall. And we're going to or is it back wall? I'm just going to switch it off so it doesn't get in the way. There we go. That gives us a better sight on that thing. So now that looks like it joins. We go back into edit mode. We select this end cap here. But we don't select the end cap, we select everything but the end cap. It's a little... Why isn't it selecting that end cap thing? There we go. And we go... extrude reason, and we can go in. We can't do that. Okay. Object mode, we'll just scale it instead. Scale. No. Oh. Sometimes you get a little bit tricky, don't you? So I want to just cut that off, which I could do with a loop cut, actually. Come up to there. Then I select everything. Going to wireframe mode, select everything on. Select all of that. You go X, faces. That's good. We'll then select lines, select that ring, and face. Set view face edge. How do we join up the faces after? It's one of those, like, remember we can connect faces together again. Skew, mark face, mark seam. Insert face. Did that do it? No, it didn't. Well, what we can do is undo that. And fill the selected. Okay. Well, that definitely filled it. If we go, excellent. Go like that. We can now move it right into place. Perfect. And we'll duplicate that across the other side. And this one, duplicate this again. Move you slightly forward. Rotate you around. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want you nice flat. Like that. It's like, this feels like working with metal rods and stuff, but in thing, I'll shrink this down, make it shorter. There we go. And ease this up. So we'll use this to have the little support wheel and the place where you put your feet. And I very rudely left other foot in a sandal where a moon boot wasn't. There we go. And just this in there. There we go. So that is the next part of that support structure. And we'll select all of these and join them into being a chair at some point as well. Next, we'll add another object. This one is going to be a cylinder, which is way too big. We want this cylinder radius to be, how about 100 centimeters? Yep, that's about right. And our depth is going to be less than that. A bit more. 0.5. That looks a good shape and size. We'll rotate this around. There we go. And we'll move this onto the end of this support shaft here. There we go. And we're going to make sure that it's not clipping through the ground. There. That works. Actually, means we're going to lift this up so it's in line with the middle of that. That works as well. We'll set this object and we'll set that to have the same material as the wheel, which I might have called material. Yeah, we got wheel there. It gives it a good traction look, but these bits are wrong. So we're going to go into the edit mode and we're going to assign another texture to these bits here. And that one. Add a new texture, new material, and we could call this one side wheel. Go assign that. For the time being, we're going to turn it orange. Going to turn it bright blue, maybe? No. Go the orange. Make it dark orange like that. There. That looks not too bad. Yeah. And then we'll put on a, take out of edit mode. We'll put on sort of like a place to put her legs. Add another plane. So 2 meters. Hovering in the middle of the air. That's way too much. And that's way too small. Where are we? Want to get it in sort of like proportion to where it wants to be so I can judge the size of it a bit better. You can go and stretch it or whatever. Scale out like that. That's going to be perfect. Here we go. like that. We'll color this. New material. We'll call this one foot pad. We'll set that to be black because they all seem to be really black. And we'll fine tune its location. So that's all lined up like this. There we go. Alt apply all transformations. Excellent. Now we'll take that, this, and that. We will go join it all into one object, which we will call wheelchair support. We'll then shift duplicate it and move it. We'll fix its origin because that seems to keep getting mixed up. Set origin, center of mass. What we want to do now is flip this thing. So how do we flip this? Reflect object. Set origin. Transform. Rotate. Apply all transforms. And that's probably reset the thing. Yep. Object. Set origin. Center of mass. And object. Where is the reflect? Oh, it's a modifier. So if we go into modifier, add modifier, mirror, that's, I only don't want to, that's not what I wanted to do. I just want to reflect it without having the old one there. Is there a modify? Let's check the manual. Blender. Flip. Object. Control M followed by X, Y, or Z. Okay. Control M. And we're reflecting it along Z. Huh? That didn't do anything. Duplicate. Apply. Set object. Transform. Convert. Object mesh. Mirror. So Z local. Nope. Object. Mirror. Y local. So it's got to be Z. Object. Mirror. There we go. And we can move this into place as well. Now I can select all of this. Hello, 𝕊𝔸ℕ𝔸. I'll select all of you here. Try not to select stuff that's not a part of this chair. Let's just go one piece by piece. There, that thing. Actually, before we do that, I want to make sure this gets a name. Oh, we're not going to give this a name, but what we are going to do, add a material. This will be wheelchair seat rest. Okay, let's select things again. There we go. And object. Join you all up together. Object. Set origin. Origin center of mass. And once again, we've screwed up the spokes. That is a pain. Okay, let's go back to fixing this spoke thing again. The problem with it's like using like a what's it, there's spokes, a test and check method or trial and error is you sometimes or quite often screw everything up. So base color there. Right. And we're going to say, let's see if generated works now. Nope. Axles tethered to the hub. Hold on, I wonder. can I... Nah, that doesn't fix what I wanted to do. And, oh, I didn't have the objects set. And, oh, we're getting a cool effect at least. Wonder if we... What mode are we in? We're in user mode. Okay. Object mode. Go snap. Select that. Oh, this center support is set different. That is handy to know. So if we click on that object, that doesn't get us what we wanted. That's not what we want. And, one. There. Let's go back to using generated again. And see if we can move around this space. Because it's not, should be radiating out of the middle rather than nowhere. Oh. I might have to give up on this and go to just using an image texture. Yeah, let's... Hi, trains. Let's try that and... But how does image textures work on roundness? I don't know. Okay. Well, first things first, can actually go to the check. Right, and that's concerning. Why is that just grey without any grid at all? Switching off scaling. This is most peculiar. Suggests there's no texture coordinates on this thing. To normal. UV gets that weirdness. Camera, but that's dependent on where we look. That will not be very good. And reflection, I don't know even what that's for yet. So it should be generated. But we're getting that uniform thing there. Up the scale to 4, 6. Okay, this is a lot denser than it was before. Right. And I've clicked off of that. It suggests that if we are using the generated into here, and then back across from here into there, Okay. So we'll go Y1. Now, if we go into that, I think that means we can move these around. Do I have to scale X as well? That's, again, not what I expected. And there we go. But I think we can get a spoke pattern out of here. Like this, maybe? There we go. Now if we feed that into here, okay. That looks terrible. That doesn't look like spokes at all. I think it's a bit funky, but the second, but it doesn't work for the second wheel. That isn't going at all well, because that's sort of like a solid block. I wonder if I have to give up on doing it sort of derived procedurally and go for color. I know what we have to do. First things first, we have to get rid of Z. That's what's causing our problem. So we go here, add search, split X, Y, Z. And then add another one, combine X, Y, Z. You into there, X, Y. And now it's getting sort of like, it's not even rotating properly. Go one like that. Why is those two different colours? Those shouldn't be two different colours. Unless that's being factored in wrongly. Let's try like that. Why? Because these should be the surfaces. Well, that's cute and all. And that splitting off there doesn't make a difference. Hold on. Let's do the checking thing again. Let's check with checks. Okay, we've got checks. And they're consistent. And if we go like this, we get the different colors. So we don't want that X thing. Just want the Y and the Z. Okay. That makes sense. One X there. And now if we run this down here, this through there, this up to here, it all comes out red. Why is it all red? That suggests it's all one. That's not going to work, is it? No, that didn't work. I didn't think it was going to. Well, that suggests that this is not clamped down properly. Maybe. And down like that. Ah! That's what we want. Now that should, if we go into the alpha again, there we go. We have spokes. Let's remove these first. There we go. Add one. Turn this color black. There we go. It's a little odd, but do the other side as. I think in here we add another one. So you white, add here, you to black, it's almost there. You to black, you to white, and not. You can split these again. This one to black. And actually this one to white. And that one. And this one to black. It's a sort of weird arrangement of these spokes. Not sure why this last... Oh, there it goes. And sort of weirdness. But as long as it looks sort of symmetrical, it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. There we go. Right. So that is... Oh, I'll show you. Last things we've got to do is have a look at the supports. So no, it's not support. Side wheel, foot, wheelchair seat rest. So we want a black leathery type of texture for this. So base color is going to be black. Roughness all the way down because it's leathery type of fabric. Oh, so that's almost reflective. That's thing. And we're going to go mix shader. And glossy. And we'll have a Fresnel there. I think that's the one we do. Okay. And RGB. Okay. GB. There we go. Cool. So use this color here. It's both the base color and for the glossy. That's way too bright. Because that's like reflective. Wonder if we flip these around. Yep. That looks more like it. And what else can we do to make this look a bit more... It's like black leather. Actually, I'm thinking... bit of subsurface scattering. And a little bit of clear coat as well. Yeah, I'm not sure if that captures it completely. The other thing I might do is, let's go wave texture. Duplicate that. One going X, the other one going Y. And what we can do, factor, add, math, we'll multiply those together. If we go bump, go height like that, you feed into the normal for there. That sort of gives it a bit of a bumpy texture. Normal for there as well. We probably need another wave texture copy for the Z direction as well. And copy that. Copy, paste. All right. There we go. There. So we've got it sort of like a thing. Now, let's go constant value. We'll put, say, 1 there. Into scale. Into scale. Into scale. That looks a bit weird. Let's say 2. I think that's sort of looks okay-ish. Although those ridges look back to front. Let's try inverting that. Yeah, that looks better. Right. We'll go back to to layout. We'll select our old lady. We'll move her across and adjust her up. Want it to be. There we go. She's sitting in there. Let's see how it looks fully rendered. Give a few seconds to settle down. Unfortunately, we're using a little bit of a hack here. Well, not a hack. We're not using the color. We're not using the colors right, so that will be ignored. Let's put the wall back in place. There we go. And we'll get our another poster here as well, because we need the eye chart to be behind her. So I'm going to do it. Duplicate. Move that over there. Move that down. It's a little bit non-standard, but we need it to be like that for the joke. We'll duplicate. Oh, make sure I've got that selected. New material. This will be eye chart. And now I'm going to find an eye chart online to blatantly copy. Eye chart printable. Images. And tools. That's right. Creative Commons. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Save image as PNG. Excellent. Actually, now we can go into the shading for this. Change this, and I'm just going to briefly drop over to my room for reasons. There we go. So, got things on my file system that I don't want to share with the entire internet. Right, open up here. That's the downloads. Another one. Let's go. New files. Sorry about this. I know it is a little bit Right. Okay. Now we can come back. Ah, thanks. Now we're using iChart. And we can't see anything for the moment. Say non-color. We'll go to texture coordinates. There we go. Let's try generated or UV. Why is that just grey? Eek. Okay. And I'll just put that up there. Because we saw that, we know that this PNG is, that's a little funny. Closest single image. Is it just because it's the wrong size? Yeah, that can happen. Or I wonder. There it is. All the information was in the alpha channel. Right. First things first. That looks like it is the wrong way round. Let's check iCharts. Normally, I am pretty sure iChart, it's white on black, so that's easy enough to fix. Go add, search, invert. That's perfect. With our lady in front of it. Right. Now, we got the audio cap set up. So if we hit space now. So, I was in the queue for the eye testing equipment, but my turn came around soon enough. On the other side of the emergency room was a standard eye test chart, which I couldn't see. But after the nice lady moved out of the way, I still had trouble seeing it. Okay. I've got the audio there for timing purposes. So let's go into the animation. We'll jump to the start. We've already set the keyframe for the previous spot where the thing was, so we can just move you across. Now we want to set the scene back a bit. You want to capture all of the nice lady here. There we go. A little bit out, just a bit more out. Right. We'll insert a keyframe there on our location. Go forward again. So, I was in the queue for the eye testing equipment, but my turn came around soon enough. Now, I've just noticed, with the camera angle like we've got it at the moment, we can see the little old lady's panties. That's nowhere respectable for her. Okay. Switch into edit mode, not edit mode. Object watch. Where is old lady? Pose mode. Right. There we go. Just that. No, not that one. That's better. Right. I think these control her dress as well. No, I don't control her dress. That one does. Okay. Take that down slightly. Yeah. Sort of competing between clipping her dress into her legs and her dignity. That's a... what's this one there? There we go. Let's just that. Might have needed to give her a slightly longer dress. Yeah. Nope. Get out of the pose mode. Object mode. It's always slightly amusing when people randomly T-pose. Okay. We can also angle you slightly up. Reverse that. Go. Let's go right to the start of the scene. And actually before the start of the scene, just want to set the rotation there. When we're in the scene, angle ourselves slightly up. There. Now it just looks like a bit of dark space under her dress. And if anybody's looking there, they're the perverts, not me. Hi to all. To a lot. How are you? I'm going quite well at the moment. So, okay, we'll play this. So, I was in the queue for the eye testing equipment, but my turn came around soon enough. On the other side of the emergency room was a standard eye test chart, which I couldn't see. But so we'll move the lady chart, which I could. Okay, this is where we'll start moving the lady. Actually, which I couldn't see. But actually, this is where we'll start moving the lady. So we'll stick. Okay. Oh. Go. Painter, old lady. Keyframe her location and rotation. Actually, yep. Hold on. Keyframe, location, rotation. And we do the same with the wheelchair. And then, but after the nice lady moved out of the way, now we'll move the nice lady out of the way. Probably by driving her. Going to the animation mode. All right. Where are we? There we are. So we'll go back sort of halfway between here and there. We'll move that forward. And then we'll add that as a whatsies. Lady moved out of the way. We'll move that across and back. Across slightly back like that. We'll add those as key points, keyframes as well. But after the nice lady moved out of the way, Right. And we're going to have to probably rotate that so the movement looks right. Okay. Right. And where is the keyframe for her for the wheelchair? It's up, there it is. Right, so next keyframe there. So we want to have it, sort of angled. Like that. Let's see how that... Yeah, now it looks like it's sort of coming out. And then the little old lady drifts into place. That's way too rad for her. But we rotate that back into place. There. Okay. So how does that look? But after the nice lady moved out of the way, I still had... Yeah, I think we can live with that. And now... next thing we do is we're going to add a constraint for the lady. And right. Physical properties. Object. So restricted moments. Okay. We just want to actually clamp to copy location. We want to have it as offset. And the target is the wheelchair. That's weird. Let's undo that. I've realized that we are clamping to the body rather than the thing. So let's get rid of that. What we want is the old lady's armature. Okay. Copy target location. Target wheelchair support. Offset. Adjust her back into her seat. And down like that. And up. Don't want you to clip through it, ma'am. Oh. Do you want you to be in the middle there? There we go. That's fine. Let's see how this looks. I think it's going to look a bit ridiculous, actually. Huh? Right. How do we fix this? So we don't want to copy the... Add a to... Actually, make it... Let's see if we make it a child of the wheelchair. And we move her back into her seat. And go like that. Don't like the implications of making somebody a child of their wheelchair, but I'm going to think of it as a purely mechanical thing, because it's not exactly 100% kosher in terms of the... But after the nice lady moved out of the way, that's better. Okay. That... Let's have a look at it through the camera. Yeah. The emergency room was in a standard eye test chart, which I couldn't see. But after the nice lady moved out of the way, I still had trouble seeing it. I think that's fine. Now, this is the only bit that's actually animated, and the rest of it's still. So we are going to go into animation. That's from 1474. Actually, before we do that, I do want to fix something. Transforms. Old lady, actually. There. Switch from dope sheet to action editor. No. How do I get this? I think it's tab. How do I get... Oop. There we go. Control tab. Okay. X. Select all of these. Select all of these. Interopolation mode. Bezier. So then now rotation. So they're now sort of no longer linear interpolation. Let's see how that looks. But after the nice lady moved out of the way, yep, that's a lot smoother. Right, so let's start at... Control Shift. So we'll go 149. 1479. And we'll end the animation at 1549. So that's all set up, and that will be all set up for later. I'll run the actual animation overnight to generate the images. So let's go back to my room. Thank you everybody Thank you, everybody, very much for joining me on this little Blender experiment, doing some animation and modeling. Thank you, everybody who joined me live, and everybody who watches me in the archives. You are very appreciated. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Tomorrow we will be playing a little bit more of Kerbal Space Program. Hopefully this time we'll actually be landing on Juna. So we'll keep everybody for that. I'll see you later.